people aren't wrong to be skeptical, because the British series, now it should be said, I've only seen one episode, but it made such an impression on me that I really felt like I had to do this show. They're doing so well that people are absolutely rightfully skeptical about what it is that we're doing with their beloved show. And I'm looking forward to them seeing that I don't think that we've dishonored it.
I mean, it's the reimagining of the show, right? So the foundation is the same, but we sort of start planting the seeds early on for something completely different. And as the series progresses, as we see each episode, it becomes something entirely new and fresh.
I think we've even expanded it and made it special and unique in its own way, and I think they'll see it as two separate entities.
Yes, and then hopefully complementary entities. Say we're successful. If we're successful, they're going to get a much bigger audience coming to their show than they ever would have had alone. And if we're not successful and we really screwed up,
Then they shine.
yeah, exactly. So it's absolutely a win-win for them.
Our mythology is that I can't touch anything. Nobody can touch me. Nobody can see me unless you're supernatural.
Yeah, she's a ghost, so we are not to touch her. Cannot touch her.
We've developed this, this complex from not being able to touch each other that literally in our lives, if someone brushes by me, I'm just like, oh, no, wait, no, they can touch me.
In fact, there are takes where our shoulders come up very close, and if she's doing a wonderful performance, yes, and the goosebumps make the hair rise up. But that hair, someone just touches her, take is blown.
Yeah. And it is hard not to touch her. Luckily, it was you guys that had to work together a lot. In the times that I worked with her, it was I fondled occasionally, but
mostly off camera.
Off camera.
Yeah.
None of us have ever touched, since the beginning to the end, no, we haven't touched anyone or anything at all. We want to just abstain from that.
Hey, relax. This scene's going to go great.
Just relax. Muscles are a little
so
tense. You're so tense. You're a ghost. You're not tense anymore.
They have all these concrete pillows rigged for me so that when I sit on it, I don't make any imprint, which is interesting because you forget that it's concrete because they're all beautifully upholstered and really hurt yourself when you sit down.
When she sits on the couch, her pillows are made of wood so that she doesn't disturb anything. Yeah. Or if she lays on a bed, the pillow is absolutely, the bed is totally solid.
Wow.
She makes no impression.
That's intense.
We're doing our own thing when it comes to the afterlife, so there's not much I can give away, and I would love to tell you, but I really can't. You'll have to watch. You do find out, I guess, about halfway we really start getting into it.
Come on, a vampire has to have fangs, and I think they have to be, they have to change with age. The more gnarly you are and the older you are, the better your fangs have to be, man.
Yes.
That's your badge. It's your mark.
It's true. Mark's fangs are the most impressive on the show. Mine are kind of cool. We have a couple new vampires on the show, and their fangs are kind of
Baby fangs.
baby fangs.
Sammy had multiple 20-hour days.
Yeah. We did a 21-hour day, and then 4 hours downtime to sleep, and then another 19-hour day after that.
Right. And it's about an 8-hour preparation of makeup.
We just put in some eyes and pop in teeth, and that's it.
Well, I have to put on a little pale stuff,
Whereas I just show up like this.
That spray on tan, I got to get that off.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My clothes don't change, but it's appropriate because Sally's reality is she's sort of frozen in time. So it adds to the whole mood. It makes it easier for me to get in character. I can't imagine being Sally wearing a Victorian dress or something,
The relationship between these two characters is really fascinating because you get to see pieces of their 200-year friendship.
Thank you.
And you even get to see different versions of these characters throughout the ages, which is really fun.
Their personalities definitely change over time, and you get a chance to see how that change happens, and you get a chance to see some pretty fierce loyalty and love. I'm going to say it. It's man love.
Just say it, man love.
It's man love.
Real bromance going on and being human.
bromance.
Yeah. Well, watch this.
What's up?
Sally in her life is very similar to Sally in her death. She's someone who's passionate and excitable and involved and has this longing to help people. She had a clear vision of what she wanted to do when she was alive, and all that was stripped away from her. And she still has those same desires, but she has this tremendous sort of obstacle in her way.
there's a mishap that starts out and a murder happens, which my character is racked with guilt about for the entirety of about a month.
Happens. It just happens.
It happens. It just happens.
Oops.
But in our version of the mythology, if something like that happens, if a mistake happens, if you're not absolutely meticulous in your planning of these things, well then you need to call him and he needs to send a cleanup crew to remove any forensic evidence that you were ever there, because anything that could be linked to you could be linked back to the whole vampire phenomenon, and that is not good for anyone.
And it sure makes it convenient that I'm a lieutenant in the Boston Police Force.
Yes.
That sure helps.
Yes.
That's a pretty smart way to wheedle my way into the mainstream.
You know, when you sign on for anything that could last a few years, you're very hesitant, especially when the setup for that show is a vampire, a werewolf, and a ghost walk into a bar. And you're like, what is this show? Upon reading those first two scripts, I absolutely fell in love with the character and the show itself. But you look at those scripts and you go, you know, there's about 9 different ways that this can go wrong.
And they missed all 9 of those.
They missed every one
They
of
missed all 9 and they hit the right one.
They were hung up at around 5, but then jumped it. Skipped
over.
6 altogether
Leapfrog.
and went straight to the
Straight
10th
to it.
version, which was a good version
Thank
of the show.
God.
Right.